Hello, welcome.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Plugging our volume.
Welcome
Hey,
to
Nash.
Marriage for Real.
Good to see you guys this evening. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm plugging in our video. Hey, lady, how are you?
How's it going, sis?
They're not messing us up right now. I think we're just gonna leave it like this.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it like this.
How's it going?
Good evening, lady. 3:13.
Good evening. Good
hey,
evening.
Renee. Hey, me. Good evening.
Good
to
evening,
you.
everybody. Come on
Well,
in.
honey,
Join. Have a
I'm
seat.
good evening. Still I rise.
Happy-
In Jesus' name. Yes.
Hey.
Even still. Yes. Hey, Marriage for Real.
Hey, support.
pregnant
Hey,
lady. How
hey,
you
Renee the
doing
Hair
today?
Blesser. Welcome.
Thank you, Shalisa.
Wow,
for
right
inviting.
on, and thanks for inviting.
Miss Virtue, staying on. How are you? Staying tall.
You all have a lot of faith in us. Y'all started inviting before we even started talking.
Thank
Great.
you.
That's a blessing. I got a lot of faith in us.
Angie. Hey, Miss Bill from Memphis, Tennessee. Good to see you on this evening.
Thank you.
Because we love y'all and we love you back.
Yes, we love y'all, man.
Oh,
Absolutely.
good to, you said, is your family there with you, Miss Naj? That would be awesome. Okay, theme song.
The theme
Yes,
song.
yes.
I know, isn't that hot? That is hot.
Thank you, the Clear Financial. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right. Welcome to Marriage for Real. Happy
Oh, yes,
Sunday.
we are.
Happy Sunday evening. Happy Sunday evening, everyone. All right. It's cold here in Chicago.
It's 7 degrees.
And that's not even the wind chill. It's like below something. It's like below zero
Yeah, it's
something.
freezing.
It's crazy cold. It's so cold it's super. Are you guys picking us up okay?
Yes.
Okay, let us know that you guys are hearing us with your hearts. With yes, beautiful. Get that love flowing. Let us feel the love tonight. I'm your brother D.
And I'm Toy.
And welcome to Marriage for Detroit. Yes, we know Detroit. Y'all ain't much about it. Believe it, we get it. Y'all right off the lakes. Oh my gosh, off the Great Lakes. Oh my Lord, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, great. Welcome to Marriage for Real. I'm your brother D.
And I'm Toy.
And you have joined us here on Sunday evening. Thank you all so much. As you know, this is Marriage for Real. Okay, and how do we get started? All right, before we get started, if you think you might know somebody who wants to hear this and benefit from what we talk about, y'all been following us for a while, invite. If you're on an Apple, swipe to the right. If you're on Android, swipe up. Hit invite. If you're trolling, hit that little dude there in the corner. That little dude with that little number next to him. Follow us. All right, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are growing this thing. You guys are growing this thing.
Yep.
It's by no action of ours. We just show up.
Yep. We just sit down
just show up.
and give what we say.
Tell our business. We just get down and just tell all the business, okay? But we hope that it blesses you. But what qualifies us? We're not counselors professionally. We're not therapists. We're not life coaches. We're not doctors. We're not psychologists or psychiatrists. But what we are?
What are we?
We're a pretty cool couple.
I think so.
I think we're pretty cool, y'all. Y'all think we're pretty cool? We're pretty cool, okay? And we've been married for almost 21 years.
Yes.
And we've been through it all.
March the 4th.
March
21 years.
March 4th, 21 years. Wow.
Yeah, say that again.
Yeah,
we saying it too. Wow.
And it's been a roller coaster ride, okay?
Yeah.
And through all the highs and
Congratulations
lows,
on
13 years, that's a blessing.
That is.
Throughout all the highs and lows, we still together.
Yep.
We made it, okay? And we're still making it, and we are looking down the end to our happily ever after.
Hey, Miss Chrissy,
All right.
good to see you this evening.
So, this is what you all really like. 7 years. Praise God.
Congratulations.
7 years. All right, Sister
Congratulations.
Angie. All right.
13.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
All right. You guys control the talk tonight.
Yep.
All right, this is Q&A. Y'all shout. 16. That's a blessing.
That's awesome.
Shout out with your questions, and we're going to have at it. We're just going to dive right on into it, okay?
TB, you said you just on 3. Girl, at 3, we were still looking at divorce. We was looking at divorce at 3, okay? Wow, I'm at 14. It feels like forever. I know.
Sometimes it does.
Some years seem longer than others.
It does.
Some years seem longer than others.
Yeah.
But-
Rocky ones, woo. Buddy, if you're frozen, log out, go back, and come back in and join us.
Yeah, nah, so we didn't hear from you. How do you deal with infidelity and trust? Right off the
All
bat.
right, right off the bat. That's our number one question.
Yes.
Okay, you go ahead and get started.
Going on 6 years is also baby's due date. Well,
Wow.
congratulations
All right.
again, Miss Renee.
5 years.
6 years.
We want to celebrate all those marriages that have endured. We thank you. We thank you for sticking it out. We thank you because of what it does to our community and to the legacy of our families and to the young people and what it says about marriage nationwide. You guys are keeping this thing going strong. So hang in there. It's worth it. It's worth it. So right up to the big question.
So I know we get that question quite a bit about how do you deal with infidelity and then building trust. So I guess the question, because that question is so common. Oh,
why is that question?
Lord.
Why is that question common? Especially for us.
What do you mean?
We get that question asked a lot. Have you all seen our first scope, maybe? Or maybe you've heard about it? If not, check out the YouTube channel.
Oh, I thought you meant us.
No.
She said, because people cheat. That is, and it's so funny that I always wonder when we get that question, because there's so much, we'll watch the rerun.
Yes, absolutely.
I always wonder when we get that question, is it more common than being uncommon? Like now, is being faithful in your marriage something that is uncommon? Because it must happen a lot. Yeah, it does.
It does.
So
it's epidemic.
It is.
It's epidemic. It's epidemic.
So that question always gets me, like, why do people ask that? So many people ask the question, not why, but is it more common than not? Like, is it more common that people do cheat and then?
Are you answering the question? Or are you asking another one?
I'm just asking another. That's my thought question in my brain. Like, why do people ask that question so much? It's been happening since Grandma and Grandpa days, I believe.
See, but the difference between now and Grandpa days, Grandma and Grandpa grew up in a generation where that's just what men do.
Yeah.
Baby, as long as he bringing home that check, girl, as long as he paying your bills, girl, as long as them kids getting taken care of, girl, that's what men do, baby. Just grow up and deal with it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay,
think
as long as you don't bring it home. Back in the day, yes.
No. I'm saying, is anyone? One of the viewers said, "Be careful with that all men cheat statement because it's not true."
No, I'm talking about back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was kind of an understood evil. Back in the day, it was acceptable because let's just be honest, women were less than. You know,
were thought of as less.
Yeah, they were. Well, society had labeled them less than. Y'all weren't making the money, you know, like y'all making today. You guys had these staunch gender roles. You know what I mean? Barefoot, pregnant, okay, stay at home and benefit from the hard work of the dude. Basically, it was a certain level of servitude. You know, even back in the Bible days, women were a little more than property. Okay, now liberation, that has its pros and cons. Okay, y'all want to be liberated when it's convenient. But we'll talk about that later.
That's a D's Huddle moment, because you don't want to be talking about here. We want to be liberated. Do we want to have a marriage for real moment on marriage for real?
Yeah, we're gonna have a marriage. We can. Well, they ain't never scared now. Okay, but back to the question. Back in the day, it was an understood evil in marriage. It was acceptable. It was a norm. Okay, that's just what men did. As long as you don't bring that stuff home and he take care of you and yours, you understand. Women accepted that, but not any longer.
Yeah.
You all, your status has been elevated. You know what I mean? Your worth has been established and proven, and may I even say appreciated. And you don't have to settle for that anymore. So with
I
that
think that's
comes,
a major word, because women have always done what women have always done. That we've always been that thing. Just because someone came by and said, "Oh, what you're doing is worth something," I think the word, we have become appreciated over the years of what our value really is, other than bearing children. And even in bearing children, just how important even that piece of it is.
Yeah.
So I would say men realized our value.
Let's keep it honest. You know, like I said, this is marriage for real. This is M4RL. Okay, and we keep it 100 here. You all were a little more than property. You guys were dependents. You guys were on the same level as children in society's eyes. You understand? Back in the day, way back in the day. We're talking, let's say it. We're talking World War II, when women entered the workforce, when all the men were going off to battle. That's the landmark of women's rights, as history states it. Okay, where most of the men were gone off to war and the women were thrust into the workforce to keep America going. And then somebody had this epiphany that, man, y'all can do more than just have babies. You know, but y'all been doing more than that for years. But
having babies are important.
I said more than just. What are you talking about? More than just.
Y'all, I'm over here like, okay, Brother D, come on.
She's tweaking.
Bring it around.
She feeling herself tonight for some
No,
reason, y'all.
no, I'm not.
I'm just being
It's not.
honest. I'm just keeping it real. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not the truth. I'm talking history. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm talking history.
For all of us
All right?
liberated women.
I'm just letting you know. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm saying check your history. Google it. Okay? The historical moment was during World War II when women were thrust into the workforce. After that, the women's right movement became established. Okay? And you guys started demanding your equality and all because you all were sub-citizens. It's the truth. Just like black people were sub-citizens. Just because you don't like the fact that slavery wasn't a thing doesn't mean it wasn't fair. Okay, come on, y'all. She feeling herself.
It's not about me feeling myself. It's just when I hear, and this is totally off topic of what we talking about.
You couldn't even vote. Exactly. You didn't have the right to vote.
Right, but when I hear those words that sound like, because in God's eyes, we were always all of that.
We're not talking about God's eyes. Didn't I say society? Didn't I say historically?
You did, but you said
I didn't say nothing about God yet.
And such passion. I
didn't say nothing about God. You jumping all ahead.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, talk to me. Look at me.
Anyway, like I was saying, okay,
yes!
like I was saying, then came women's rights, okay, and your status was elevated in the eyes of society, all right, and you all weren't taking just anything, and nor do you have to, nor do you have to. Today, I believe that infidelity is very much still. It's becoming acceptable again because people feel the right to love and do what they will in all of these social freedoms that we have taken to the nth degree. This is just if I want another woman, maybe you should be able to accept that because what does that have to do with our love?
Right. I almost forgot the question.
Yeah, I almost forgot the question. I know we been getting into it, y'all. Y'all got a sneak peek behind the veil. Okay, everything ain't all laugh and giggles. Okay, we are married for real. Do you understand? We go at it. Okay, it gets real up in here. Seriously. Okay, but all that aside, I know from being a police officer, it messed me up. That it was so you were looked at sideways if you didn't have a side piece.
Yeah,
I wasn't used to that, okay? I mean, shoot. I don't know. You worked in the office spaces.
She said police officers have a rep.
We have a rep because of our exposure to the public, you know, and that's the truth. We do have a reputation. But believe it or not, there are a lot of cops that don't cheat. There are a lot of cops that fight that stereotype. That's a stereotype just like many others. You know, we're just accused because we do have so much contact with the public, which means there's a lot of women. We know there's more women than men. We also know that there's a shortage of working men. So when I'm in uniform, you see that I got a job. You know that the job comes with benefits. You understand? I look pretty good. Soldiers too. I was a soldier. Army wife. She was an army wife. Well, an army boo. Okay? But I'm a veteran. Okay? That stuff matters. You know, y'all, one thing sisters are good at, they're good at math. They're good at math. Y'all see your brother, that math start working. That's about $50,000 a year. You see health benefits, taxes, single, income earned at tax credit. Okay, he's not bad looking. Stability. Okay, retirement, that's a 401k and a pension. Y'all do it quick. Y'all know you do. When I just got this job, that girl knew how much I was making. She had calculated everything down to the nearest cent. As soon as I brought home the orientation paperwork.
Because I earned it. I earned it.
All right, so we're still talking about.
Okay, so I'm seeing.
How was it in the office space? Even like where you work now?
Well, here's the thing about this. I think people say that about the police officers and people say that about soldiers because those type of people work within a community that is very closely knit to where they depend on each other for their lives, right? And so when you have somebody who works with each other that closely knit, then you have friendships that develop probably more quicker than others in any other workplace with the police officers. But I did see some things that someone said, people who cheat have little to no integrity. That's not true.
That's not true. That is not
That's
true.
not true.
That is not true. That once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true.
That's not true either.
That's a lie. That's if he cheated before, he'll cheat again. That's not true.
That people cheat because their spouses let them.
That's not true. Not true. As my niece would say, that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's not true. Male-dominated professions, doctors and lawyers. That's not true either.
That's not true either.
Okay, because I remember when I was 14, my first job at Taco Bell, my manager, I ain't gonna mention her name because she may be following us now, but my manager cornered me in the freezer, and she was a grown woman, and it was in the summer, and she actually cornered me in the freezer, and disrobed herself, talking about she was hot, and asked me if I liked what I saw, because she was my supervisor. It happens.
So the cheating come from lacking. Okay, so we're gonna get to it.
Yes, let's get to that.
We're going to get to it. So, infidelity is something that's happened in our marriage.
I know,
so
right?
that's why we can have those. We can say with emphasis that those statements that were made were not true about not having any integrity. Someone asks, does it come from something lacking? And I can definitely say it honestly comes from an individual dealing with issues within themselves, and it almost always really doesn't have too much to do with the spouse, because when you know how to deal with yourself, when you know how to deal with the issues that you have, right, then an outside source is not an option for you.
Lady who just said my husband says he doesn't cheat because he loves himself and he doesn't want to go to hell, then he's in a dangerous place.
Say it again. He said what?
He said he doesn't cheat because he loves himself and he doesn't want to go to hell. The reason I say that he's in a dangerous place with that kind of statement is because he has got to love God more than he loves you or himself.
Yeah.
Or he will cheat.
Yeah.
Okay? Loving yourself is not enough. Period. One of the things that keeps us in line because of our devotion to our faith is that we love the Lord.
He said that's what he meant.
Yeah. We love the Lord.
No, he said that's what he meant, what you just said.
Yeah. We love the Lord so much that we fear disappointing him. Mm-hmm. We fear disappointing him.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I don't want to let him. Okay, I like that. Yeah, there we go. That sounds better.
Yeah.
That he loves God more and doesn't want to go to hell.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. A lot of times, our love for one another is not enough to keep us in those quiet moments.
Because see, here it is. Tina Turner said the best. What's love got to do with it? It really isn't about being in love or out of love. It really is about. And when we went to counseling, I think our pastor actually kind of said it best. She said, "Where you are."
Not a darn thing. You're right.
Right. She said, where you are, even in that moment, you really can pinpoint where you are in the Lord in that situation.
You can.
You really can.
That's a you and God in the mirror moment.
Yeah.
It really is.
We're gonna talk to you about that, Myanmar.
Yeah. So how far are we going?
To just the first half.
Okay, so talk about the first half. Did you stop loving me?
No.
Got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Did you think about me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It's not about.
It wasn't about how much she loved me. Okay. Nothing.
No.
All right. What was it about?
It was about me, not being in the place where I should be. It was about me being in a vulnerable state because where we were in our marriage. Not where I can go back and say,
I'm gonna address that.
Not where I can go back and say, because you weren't doing this, because you weren't doing that, then this A, B, and C happened. But what I can say is, when it's like a recipe. When all of these pieces are put in place, maybe you are like
good evening,
like struggling. We're struggling in our marriage. I wasn't where I should be in the Lord, and then the opportunity came. This is kind of like
stop right there. The opportunity came. Lady T 1313. I'm sorry if I got your handle wrong. You said, don't even put yourself in that position, okay? Control the situation. Let me tell you something, Lady T313. The situation will find you.
Shoot, yeah.
If you think that you think you have that much control over the time-space continuum to control putting your... Now, granted, you can avoid many things, okay? I'm not saying to go, not true, okay? Because he always provides a way of escape, but you don't always see it.
It's just true.
Let alone take it, okay? Because let me tell you something. If I'm caught up in emotion, if I'm caught up in my feelings, okay, my pupils narrow. Do you understand? My field of vision narrows. And though they very well may be a way of escape, I may not be in a place to see it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No.
We don't think you're judgmental. No, we like to address thought processes, Lady T313. We do not think that you're being judgmental at all. Okay? Now what you can do is lessen the type of situations that you're in. Okay? But I want to assure you, okay, if you don't lean on anything else, see, because when we say things like control the situation, we're putting faith in us, faith in flesh.
Yep.
Do you understand? That's why I come so hard against that. You cannot put faith in this limited, tainted, corrupt by nature thing called flesh.
That is subject to outside influence.
Let me tell you something. Soon as you think you got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, the enemy will throw a curveball. And you can find yourself in an emotionally vulnerable situation. You can find yourself... It don't take long for a seed to plant a seed. It don't take long, okay? You ain't got to sit there and just marinate in the company that's another person.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It could be a glance. It can be a kind word at the right moment. An attraction.
Yeah.
Okay? Something... Him or her helping you out of a situation at work, okay?
Getting that advice.
Getting an input or just an acknowledgement.
Yep.
Or shoot, a certain kind of cologne that brings back a memory. These things happen.
And still be in love with your mate.
And still be in love with your mate. You can still that and still be in love with your mate.
Yep.
Okay? I don't want anybody to give themselves so much credit to think they can control all variables.
The devil with his shenanigans.
With his shenanigans. Ms. Keisha, you're right. Here comes the enemy with the shenanigans. Because one thing we got to realize, okay, even with God as our help, providing a way of escape, okay, even with all the willpower and all the spirits and all the word that we know, because I grew up in the church. Toy knew the Lord. Do you understand? Okay, we had tasted of the goodness of salvation. Those ducks happen to come in a row with the enemy. He knows how to put things in place. Okay, and trust me, you don't see it coming. You don't see it coming. This is not excusing any action.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, because we've been down that road, we've learned since then, that it's by no power of ours.
Yeah.
By no power of ours.
And even the word tells us, if we're going to go back and we've got to die to self daily. That's it, Miss Keisha.
Yes.
Oh, we got, yes. Yes,
he does. Use any situation, any person.
You can ask a question, but even that, even the word tells us, the only thing the word tells us to run from, is lust.
It's lust. That's it.
Like, he's like, don't even sit there and have conversations with it.
Yeah.
Don't even sit there and try to wrap your brain around it. Turn and run the other way. And unless you're in a place to flee, run away, and not like, oh boy, oh girl.
Wait, and here's the funny thing.
Oh girl, you know I ain't gonna.
Here's the funny thing. Sister Toy can attest to. Okay, you ain't even gotta be attracted to the person.
Nope. No.
That's the doozy.
Yeah, the run.
That's the doozy. Okay, the enemy will put somebody in front of you that you initially couldn't stand.
Yep.
And before you look up, the hold down and went down.
You like, how did I get here?
How did I get here?
And here's just another way to look at it. Have you ever been in any other situation where you've kind of strayed away from the Lord and think, how did I get so far? Like a boat is in the middle of the ocean and the tide is kind of rocking it, but it doesn't realize it's moved. So it's just like you can be like that in life. Have you ever been in a situation where you realize, how did I get here?
And you take a nap.
Because it wasn't like you got pushed out there.
And you take a nap and you wake up and you can't even see the shoreline.
Yes.
You done drifted so far out.
Yeah, don't even play with that
Don't
fire.
even play with it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. The hold down went down. Okay? I'm telling you, somebody you can't even stand.
Yeah.
We're telling you from experience. Okay? Somebody you didn't even get a second glance to.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, how did I get here?
Yeah.
How did I get so far from you? What happened? And it wasn't any single moment.
Nope.
See, what people don't understand is backsliding is not an event, it's a process.
Yes.
Okay? People think, oh, I cursed, so I backslid. People think, oh, I got angry, so I'm out of God's will. No, backsliding is a process.
Yeah.
Okay? When a person slides, they slide through a period of time. Okay? A slide isn't brief. A slide goes through an extended period of time. Do you understand? And so you'll think you're one place, and then you look up, you're like, whoa, wait, where am I at?
Yeah.
How did I get this far?
Yeah.
Lord, I can't feel your presence. How did I get so far from you?
So your question was, how long did you deal with it? And I'm now, how long did it happen?
It be on some crazy
long,
stuff, Miss Keisha. You right.
How long? Can you ask ask that question? Like ask that question, like clear.
We have to through the things.
Absolutely. So could you just clear that question up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're taking your questions. Like, this is Q&A,
yeah.
Marriage for Real. Okay, we want to make sure that we cover these things as thoroughly as we can because we do have a limited time. Because, yep.
Got like 14 minutes.
Yep, we got like 14 minutes because brother got to be in bed for work tomorrow. Got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. But we want to make sure that your things are addressed. What was the question? How long did you guys go? You talking about the recovery? I assume you're talking about the recovery period. Okay, because the act is momentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recovery period.
Yeah. I will say.
Now, this is not a template for everybody.
Yeah.
Number one, because time is kind of relative.
Yeah.
To different situations.
Do not base recovery on time.
No.
Do not base it on time because I know people say time heals all wounds. That is not true. Yes. Rebuilding trust was very
extremely.
difficult.
That was the most difficult
But here's
part.
the thing. Here's the first thing. This is the first move in the moment that you have to make when you decide that yes, I am going to fight for my marriage. After you made that decision, the next step is you have to choose to forgive.
That's it. That's it.
No, we do wear our rings.
Oh, we do.
Have them on.
Yeah, we've been cooking. We've been at home all night. I have mine on all day.
Yes,
yeah,
we do wear our rings.
We do our rings. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
We just kind of take them off. I don't need a ring to prove to her that I'm married to her when we at home.
Yeah, but we do. Yeah, we
That's
do wear
for the
rings.
world to see. At home.
We do.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that you have to choose to forgive. Choosing is you get to make a choice.
Right.
Forgiveness is not about someone doing penance,
right,
and doing so many things, and then you forgive. Forgiving, when it comes to anything, is about making decision to let the person who offended you off the hook. It does not make them any less guilty.
It doesn't.
But you're not going to hold them to the action in which they committed against you.
If you want to make it work. How long did it take for us? Wow. If we're talking
conscious purpose decision.
If we're talking getting into the same space, all right, it was a process. Understand that. There's stages to it. Do you follow me? There's steps. Almost like a I don't even minimize it by a 12-step program because it probably took a lot more than 12 steps.
It took an active, purposeful, intentional
but
work.
Step number one was feeling the hurt.
Yeah.
Had to feel it. Had to face it head on. You understand? Had to cry. Had to rage. Okay. Had to vent. You know what I mean? All that had to happen. All that had to happen. Then came grieving, as if somebody died.
Because someone did die.
Because something died.
Something died.
Yeah.
There was a death that occurred.
There was a death, and it was a grieving period as real as if someone died. You understand? Mm-hmm. Then after the grieving period, after the rage, after the grief, came sorrow. You know what I mean? Grief and sorrow were two different things. Sorrow for me was, why wasn't I on my post? You understand what I'm saying? Why wasn't I on my post? How could I, as the head, have let things go this far? How could I have prevented this? You understand? What could I have done? And this was not self-torture. This was actually reflective sorrow. I was sorry because I also knew who she was. Do you follow me? What did I do? This is partly of me owning. What did I do to contribute to getting to this point? Or what didn't I do? After that, we had to get in the same space.
Yeah.
We could not stay separated. You've heard us say this on previous scopes before. The enemy's primary tool for destruction is division.
Yeah.
Period. Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Now, I had to get my space to rage. I had to get my space to grieve. I had to get my space to think. Do you understand? But my former pastor, the wise woman that she was, says, okay, once you get there, now what are you planning on doing? I want my marriage. I love my marriage. I love my wife. I love my family. Okay, now that you know that, you got to get back in that house, boy. You got to go and y'all got to get in the space, because as long as you are apart, the devil's going to play with your imagination. He's going to play this movie in your head. Do you understand? You're not going to be able to reconnect. You have to start the reconnection process. And the beginning of the reconnection process is not communicating, because when we got into the same space, we didn't talk.
No.
Okay.
What words could have been said that would have been heard or felt? I'm sorry wouldn't have been enough.
Nope.
Forgive me wouldn't have been enough.
No.
To heal. And so words really at that moment
didn't suffice.
Wasn't sufficient.
They wouldn't work. And I couldn't hear her anyway, because all I saw, even though I'm in the space, was the enemy. Somebody, you hurt me. That's it. That's that primal fight or flight thing. Do you understand? I was afraid of her. Now, we're not talking, afraid she's going to do something to me. Fear comes from pain. Okay? People don't understand that. Fear comes from pain. All right? When someone inflicts pain upon you, we're not talking about fear as if you're going to run away, but now there's a deep emotional scar, or a heartbreaking, a wrenching, and only one person had the power to inflict that, and you used that power, and that power scared me. Do you understand what I'm saying? It terrified me, and so. But the next step is Pastor said, getting back in space. And I'm like, what? How? What? You mean get back in the house? Yeah. You can't make it work from where you at. You can't have a family from where you at. Okay? You can't be married from where you at. If you're gonna be married, then boy, be married. Okay? Go there and get started. Y'all got work to do. You understand? And getting back into that space started the process. Now, could we put a timetable on it?
And I want to speak on my side from the perpetrator's part on how I begin to put things in place. What's the YouTube on this subject? It's private, and so if you email us, I'll send you the link because it's private. And I'll send you a link to it. So just email us at marriageforeal@gmail.com.
Yes.
But for the person who perpetrated, because I was godly sorrow, like even in the moment of the situation happening.
And the story has 3 parts to it. We're just recapping the first part that's on YouTube. The other 2 parts
will be private scopes.
Will be private scopes and or webinars.
Yep.
Okay. So follow.
What was I saying?
Your tongue.
Oh, as a perpetrator, things that I was so godly sorrow, and it's very difficult to convey to someone how sorry you are. Like I was able to feel, like one day the Lord allowed me to feel the depth of hurt that I had inflicted upon my husband, and that level of pain, you guys, I can't even put into words, because I would have never ever wanted to hurt him
I can put a time period on it. It took about a year. You know how I know it took about a year? Because after that, I was removed from my job pending a complete psychological evaluation for an entire year. They would not return my star and my gun until, because I raged, my job caught wind of it. Do you understand? I was a Chicago police officer. And it cost me, and mind you, I got paid for it because I was on medical leave. But it cost me an entire year. And in that year, because I didn't have anything else on me, bills weren't a problem because I was still getting 100% of my pay. We spent that next year really headstrong, knee-deep in fixing this thing we called our marriage. It took a better part of the year. And when they said, okay, when they finally said, are you ready to go back to work? I let them know. Yeah, I'm ready.
But here's the thing, even though you said it took a year, it wasn't, for me, it took much longer.
Yeah.
It took much longer because I was...
That year allowed me to function, to get to a point where I can function normally.
Right, because I was like so devastated that I had inflicted so much pain on him that I was doing, as a Catholic do, I was doing penance.
And I didn't demand that.
And he didn't ask that from me, but it was more so like I realized what I had done, and I felt like I would do any and everything that I could to make it right, even though there was nothing I really could have done to make it right, but then try to put things in place to make him or help him trust again. And so for those of you who are on the other side of it, who may have had spouses who've cheated on you and who are sorry about it, you have to
thank you.
For those who are sorry about it, you have to
thank you very much.
I know it sounds kind of like backwards, but you have to allow them to forgive themselves if they are godly sorrow about it.
Sorry about that.
If they are godly sorrow about it, that sound is low. Yeah, because someone was just calling on my phone, so sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, you have to allow that person to get through their piece of if they're sorry, get through their piece of forgiveness too, because they have to forgive themselves. That level of pain is ridiculous. It is. So
yeah. It was a process, and really to the point to where we're still in the recovery time period. It took a year for me to get to the point where I could function, where I could go to work every day and not be tortured in my head about who she's with, who she's talking with, to where she's at, the whole 9 yards. To get my weight back up, because I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was a walking skeleton. I was in full self-destruct mode. But I'd say it took to get to the point to whereas we had where there was really no residue. It took a couple of years.
So you said, how can you heal if that person continues to have contact with them?
You can't.
You can't heal, and
it's like picking at a scab. And
I think that is a very, to me, that's not a sorry partner, a sorry spouse. Because when you're trying to heal, it's just like, and we've used this analogy before. When you're trying to heal everything, you have to take the pressure off of the wound, and so you have to bind that. You have to bind that wound up, right?
Yep.
You have to bind that wound.
You can't pick at it.
You can't pick at it. You have to do everything that you can to support the wound. You have to make sure you have to use a support system to put things in place.
You can't reopen it.
You can't reopen the wound. It's like a cast. You gotta keep it. You have to keep it covered, right? And so when your partner continues to have contact with the person who they cheated on you with, it is a new offense every time.
Every single time.
So
because you cannot have seen somebody naked or been intimate with somebody and talk to them and not in your head go back to that place.
Yes.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's a point of no return. We may freeze here in a second.